Helping people connect and check in at the beginning of a workshop or a training or even a meeting really helps people arrive in the space. It allows people's brains to kind of switch over from whatever they were doing into the headspace that we want them to be. And it's really important to kind of set the tone for the beginning of the session to be one where people matter, where their voices are going to be heard, where they get to be kind of contributing to the experience itself. And so it's really important to do check-ins in a way that involve people and that people actually want to participate in. Unfortunately, I find that most people kind of glaze over this part, and they often just kind of throw a question out to the group. How's everyone doing today? And then nobody responds, or a few people respond, that one always eager person responds and everyone else says and then we just kind of move on. When we ask a question like that and people don't quite know how to respond and only a few people do, and it doesn't seem to really matter that other people don't, it creates an energy system and an expectation that those things are going to be true throughout the rest of our workshop. Now, that's not explicit or even conscious, but I think it really shapes people's kind of expectation for the rest of the session. So I want to tell you a bunch of better ways to ask that question, how's everybody doing, that will actually get responses. We're going to use Facilitator Cards to do this. Any of the blue cards in the deck are cards that are great for check-ins. They're different structures and frameworks for how to check in or how to connect participants. So let's see how many different structures will work for just this really simple question. How is everybody doing? So you could do it in declarative pairs. So declarative pairs, you put everybody into pairs in breakout rooms, or if in person, you just pair people up and you have them say a sentence over and over again for 1 minute. So you might say today I'm feeling blank, today I'm feeling, and they would just say that over and over again for 60 seconds to their partner. And then they would switch and then you'd be done. What's going to happen is people are going to say things that are really interesting. People are going to share things with their partner that were unexpected, and everyone's going to talk in 2 minutes. Amazing. What a dynamic way to do that. On a completely different end of the spectrum, you could do a minute paper. So minute papers is just asking everybody pull out one thing to write on. Could be a Word document. I've had people do this on their phones, piece of paper and a pen, and journal for 1 minute. How are you feeling going into this meeting, or how are you feeling today? Just journal for 1 minute, and then that can be it. You don't even have to collect them. You just gave everybody a chance to arrive in the space. If you want to have a couple of people share out, you could do a popcorn share and say anything come up that people want to share, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's good to just do check-ins where it's just an internal moment. It doesn't even have to be vocalized to the group. All right, let's do 2 more. Fill in the gap. Fill in the gap is a really great way to get people to share out loud. So you can do this out loud in a go-around share kind of style where you would say, okay, today I am feeling blank and also blank. Everybody, we're going to fill in that one sentence, and you could just go around the room, or you could do it on Zoom. If in the chat, you can have everybody type in their sentence and hit send it all at once. All of a sudden, everybody has responded. You have a good sense of where people are at, and people know how to respond to that question. Okay, last one is thinking and feeling. So thinking and feeling is a really great, just slightly longer than fill in the gap prompt, where you can ask, what is one thing you're thinking and one thing you're feeling as we're going into the session today, or about how you're doing today. One thing you're thinking and one thing you're feeling. Have everybody respond in the chat, have everybody respond out loud. If you're working with a massive group, maybe you do it at their table groups. Share with your table groups one thing you're thinking and one thing you're feeling. The reason that these work, the reason that these different structures all work, is because they're helping us think about the how. They're helping us think about the process that we're using for whatever content we're getting at. So the content in this example is just, how's everybody doing? It's just this little check-in moment, right? That's the content of this moment. But the process is all these different options that we have for helping people engage with each other. And most of us default to the same processes over and over again. When it comes to check-ins, most people default to just a popcorn share, throwing a question out and letting a couple people respond and then moving on. When it comes to brainstorms, most people default to making a list. They put up a flip chart, they ask a question and then they write down people's answers. And both of those are great processes. I use them all the time, but they're not great when they're the only process we think of, or when they are the only process we like reach for in those moments. And that's why having facilitator cards is so helpful, because what it allows me to do is I don't have to necessarily generate a bunch of those ideas of like, oh, what are the different ways we could do this check-in? I can just look at the blue cards and go, oh yeah, let me see. Thinking and feeling, fill in the gap, minute paper. Let's do a minute paper. That's it. That's how quickly you can like build a creative agenda when you have these, because the ideas are already laid out for you. The ideas are already there for you to just select from. Like, you don't have to use the kind of like precious brain creative energy that we have as facilitators to come up with these processes. You just need to open your box, pull out the deck, and like look through the cards and then pick one. All of them work. Any of these cards, any of the blue cards work for check-ins, because we've tested them all, and that's why they made it into the box. So I want to share that importance of intentionally choosing processes to help our participants like know how to respond and want to respond to the invitations that we give them, and to invite you not to waste your precious like brain and creativity energy on remembering those things. Just have this little box of reminders right on your desk, and you can leave that part of the creative decision making to us, because goodness knows you have enough other things to keep track of as a facilitator. You don't need to keep track of your hows or all of the different processes that you know, and the ones that might be new to you. So hope that was helpful. If you learned something from this video, would love you to leave in the comments below any questions, any comments. If you made it to the end and you're still watching this, hopefully you liked it. You can leave us a thumbs up or maybe your favorite smiley face emoji. Hit the like button and follow us for more facilitation content. It'll be coming soon.